Generalized anxiety is when you have generalized worry in different things. So it could be life, business, work, family, it could be anything. But you find that your brain goes to the fears, the doubts, the worst case scenarios, the what ifs, and the potential catastrophes of that. We talk about these symptoms, right? But how does it show up in like your day to day? How does it get in the way? Well, if you're a person that kind of constantly worries, it's hard to shut it off, then think about that. It messes with your concentration. It makes you kind of second guess things. So you find yourself redoing and overworking unnecessarily because you're in your head and your standard is way here. So that perfectionist tendency can show up in anxiety. It can keep you from engaging with others and doing the things you need to do because you're in your own head about it, or going out and enjoying yourself or doing things. One of the biggest ways it really messes with people is their sleep. The mind doesn't shut off when the body's in the bed. So then the next day you're irritable, tired, can't focus, not as productive or sharp. So it can really slow you down. And then when you're really tired, of course, your motivation to get things done trickles. What's one thing you can do about generalized anxiety is if it's physical, you can worry so much that the anxiety kind of turns inward. The anxiety has got to go somewhere, right? So if you find yourself, you hold things close to the chest, you don't really talk about what's going on, and so you're stuffing everything, then you're likely going to start getting physical symptoms of anxiety. Heart racing, maybe you can't breathe, maybe you get more somatic issues, so you have headaches or your stomach hurts or you lack of appetite, things like this. You just find, or you get more fatigued. These kind of things will start happening. So the body's going to take a hit. So one of the things you can do with generalized anxiety as a prevention measure is exercise, cardio in particular. You want to do 20 to 30 minutes to get your heart rate up. 4 to 5 times a week would be the suggestion to really help with the stress response and kind of keep things on a chill. That's one thing. So performance anxiety is exactly what it is. It's anxiety related to something where you actually have to perform. It doesn't necessarily mean like speaking perform, although that is included. Anxiety could be a number of things where you feel like you got to show up and perform. Sometimes people get performance anxiety under like sexual circumstances. It could be smaller, right? So maybe not on stage, but maybe just like talking to people, or you have to like talk at work and be on the spotlight. These kind of things, just anything where you feel like your performance, you're being evaluated and you have to perform. Usually people get physical anxiety with that one a lot. Of course, you get in your head, right? So it's like fear of failure, fear you're not going to do a good job, you're going to be evaluated in a negative way by people. And then the mind tells the body, like, this ain't good. And you start having all these physical reactions. So heart racing, sweating, jittery, restlessness, you're breathing really fast, things like that. There's a couple things you could do for performance anxiety from just a behavioral perspective. But the first thing I would recommend for performance anxiety is you have to control your mind. You have to calm and quiet the mind so that you can calm and quiet the body, because the body is matching what your mind is thinking and focusing on. Your mind is thinking of all the things going wrong, and so then your body kicks off the stress response of the things going wrong. And so what I would suggest there is to visualize yourself doing this in the way that you want, in excellence, in confidence, and getting the response that you want as well. See that happening, visualize that over and over to match what you know you're capable of doing. You wouldn't have been asked to do this or step to it if you didn't have the skill set and the expertise. Visualization would be one of the big ones, and slow down your breathing before you go on. You want to just calm yourself down, slow your heart rate down by slow deep breaths to kind of slow all of it down. And if you don't want to come right out the gate talking because you feel like it's going to be shaky, or I even do that sometimes, like start it real chill, like ask a few warm-up questions and get the audience talking first before you do it. Just kind of slow your heart rate down before you really, really get going.